Hello again, Kingston Town Administrator Keith Hickey with the latest edition of This Week in Kingston for the week ending September 5th, 2025. Hope everybody enjoyed their Labor Day weekend. So the weather was certainly nice, so it was nice to be able to get out. Had a good stretch of weather lately, so it's been really nice. A lot of things happening in town, some things to make everybody aware of. Unfortunately, we had some vandalism occurred on Grays Beach over the past week. We've had the restroom was vandalized, graffiti on benches in and around the restroom and the kayak. So there was some damage done to the kayak rack. So there are now more police patrols through the park, but if people who might live in the area or who are down in the area on Grays Beach, if you see somebody doing something that you think might not be appropriate, if you could just give the police department a call, let them know that so we could check that out. It's unfortunate that uh, a couple of people or some people have such disrespect for a beautiful park like that and did some damage and some vandalism. So please try to help us out if you can and let us know who they are. I made a comment at the board meeting last week, and just to make everybody aware this week, streets, and parks has been paving. We've had Crescent River Streets that have both been paved. Grove Street was paved this week as well. Crack sealing has occurred on Lake Street, on Evergreen Street, and Dillingham Way in Old Mill Estates. There's some additional work going on in town. So the sidewalks along Main Street are being repaired. Some of the areas on the sidewalks have some roots growing through them. So Streets and Parks is removing some of those roots, trying to flatten out that sidewalk as best we can and address the areas to the best of our ability. So that's been going on. I want to thank Streets and Parks for their efforts over there and the paving that's been going on in town as well. So it's good stuff. The board does have a meeting next Tuesday night, the 9th. They have a pretty lengthy agenda. At the last meeting, the board recognized members of the police department. One of the members of the police department who couldn't be there because of a conflict was Sergeant Michael Lenatra. We're going to recognize Sergeant Lenatra for his efforts and years of partnership with the working dog that he had, Billy, who was recently retired. Um, so Chief Holmes would like to recognize Sergeant Lenatra for his efforts for the police department. There's also a request from Chief Holmes to utilize the opioid funds that the town of Kingston receives as part of the opioid settlement agreement with a variety of pharmaceutical firms. The police department is looking to establish a family services unit. The police department has received a grant from the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health for a licensed clinician. They will pay for the full cost of the wages for that individual. We're looking to use the opioid funds to fund temporary office space, um, which would probably be a trailer in the parking lot of the police department, as well as some supplies and things of that nature. It's going to be a regional grant. Plymouth, Halifax, and Kingston will all benefit from this clinician. So the majority of it, as I mentioned, is being funded through a grant. There's some additional costs that need to be funded, and the opioid settlement funds is an allowable use of that. So the police chief is seeking those opioid funds to be designated for the public for the family services unit in the police department. We're looking to modify our winter snowplow rates for contracted plow drivers. The town has seen a shrinking number of outside plow drivers, as have a lot of other communities. So we're trying to stay as consistent as we can, slightly increasing the rates that we pay for the outside drivers, so we can have a decent amount of outside drivers to supplement our workforce during these snowstorms. There'll be a continued discussion and possible vote on a cannabis social equity policy that was brought up at the last board meeting. A lot of discussion about it. There were some questions raised and needed to be pushed on to this agenda. So it's on this agenda as well. The board will discuss it again. And if they're prepared to do so, make a motion one way or another as to whether or not they want to support a social equity policy for cannabis. We have a request from a property owner who lives on Elm Street, whose property is in 61A. 61A is an allowable designation for a property that's basically being kept in its natural state. You get a reduced property tax bill in lieu of not using that property to develop. When the property comes out of 61A, the town of Kingston, in this case, has the ability to have the right of first refusal. It's not a large property. The Conservation Commission has discussed it. They are not interested in that property. However, the property does abut a larger parcel that's currently owned by the Wildlands Trust. And the Conservation Commission and the Wildlands Trust have had conversations about the property, and they're interested in acquiring that property. So the town has the ability to assign its right of first refusal to the Wildlands Trust, and the Wildlands Trust and the property owner can negotiate, come to terms on the purchase of that property. That will expand the Wildlands Trust property in the Kingston a little further, and what they've explained, what the Wildlands Trust has explained to myself and the conservation agent, is they intend to remove a failing dam on their property, and this piece of property that they're looking to acquire would act as a spillway for that particular piece of property. So the board has the opportunity, the selectmen have the opportunity to assign that right of first refusal. After some discussion, the board, I'm sure, will make a motion either to assign that or potentially not exercise the right of first refusal. Moving on from there, we have a request for and some no parking signs on Main Street in front of the First Parish Church. The First Parish Church is seeking no parking areas on Main Street, approximately 20 feet on either side of the crosswalk, to improve a person who's crossing the crosswalk's ability to see oncoming traffic, and for that oncoming traffic to see the pedestrians trying to walk across Main Street. We've checked with the state. We've talked to the police department. Everybody seems to think it's certainly allowable use. The board can make a decision on what they want to do there. We looked at potentially having just limited no parking on that street, but the church does have a variety of functions at different parts of the day and week that would make that really challenging, I guess, frankly. So what the recommendation or request is from the First Parish Church is to allow no parking signs on either side of the crosswalk in front of the 222 Main Street property. Moving on from there, we're going to continue the discussion on upgrading the existing EV charging stations at the townhouse and the library. The board discussed at the last meeting. There were a couple of comments from residents about the fact that these charging stations are not state of the art, and they aren't. They're an upgrade from the existing charging stations that we have now, and they're the only charging stations that we can upgrade to at no cost. So, from my point of view, the town of Kingston, at least in my humble opinion, shouldn't be in the EV charging station business. If we can provide a small spot and a parking spot in the library in the townhouse to allow charging stations to be placed there, so people who might find it convenient can charge their cars, that makes all the sense in the world. If the board isn't interested in upgrading, my suggestion would be to keep the existing charging stations, and when they fall into disrepair, we just take them out and not replace them. At this point, there are other spots and other businesses that cater to EV charging stations. We have one-day liquor licenses again for 42nd Brewery and the bartending services of New England, for the agricultural fair, the Gears and Bears car show, and the Sip and Stroll Oktoberfest at the Kingston Collection. So there's a number of requests there. There's 3 requests, I guess, for one-day liquor licenses, and the board will consider awarding those liquor licenses to those groups. Moving forward, there's a the board may be prepared to discuss and appoint an interim town administrator to fill the position when I leave in October. Then they'll be having an executive session before the meeting to discuss and update the full board on what the status of that is. And if they're prepared to do so, they will vote on appointing an interim town administrator. The last couple of things on the agenda, we have an opportunity to form a veterans district with the town of Duxbury. This would have Kingston's current veterans agent and a new part-time veterans administrator work for the town of Kingston and provide veterans support to the veterans of both Duxbury and Kingston. By doing so, it provides both communities with a phenomenal veterans agent in Sarah Lansing, but also allows the town to provide the services at a lesser cost than we're providing them now. So don't believe at all that I don't believe at all that will be impacting the ability to provide really good service to the veterans of Kingston. We will have a small staff to assist full-time veterans agent, and we'll be providing the same level of service that we're providing now. We're just able to do it for two communities in a more economical way. So if the board's interested in doing that, we would need to get approval from the Massachusetts Executive Office of Veteran Services, which they've approved other districts as well. So we're confident that can occur. So we'll see what the Board of Selectmen is interested in doing, and take direction from on next steps. Lastly, we have the opening of our special town meeting warrant. The town meeting is scheduled for October 28th. So we're opening the special town meeting warrant, and it would close at least at this point on the 26th of September. So just a formality at this point. We have an acceptance of a donation for the Council on Aging. So I want to thank the individuals who have donated money to the Council on Aging. We have a reappointment to the Agricultural Commission, while there's on the agenda, as there always is up there in the Works Department, I don't expect to be any conversations about that particular agenda item. So that's the agenda for next week. A lot of things going on, obviously, and we're gearing up for fall town meeting. So if anybody has any questions or concerns about that, feel free to reach out. Happy to try to answer those for you. And with that, I want to thank you very much for watching. Hope everybody has a great week, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you.